Welcome back to the Gfinity Arena, slap bang in the middle of, well, actually not in the middle of London, just slightly to the west, for the Play Like a Legend Championship weekend of the finals. It all comes to an end this weekend. We will crown the champ. Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, you're all right. You'll be all right. We'll be back.
Hello.
No, not really. So we are back, and it is Dave and Chris here with me on the analyst desk. We're getting ready for Emmy versus Rocky in the Group C winners match. We'll see who progresses through to the quarterfinals first from Group C and is seeded #1. Right, predictions really quickly. Who do you think is going to do this?
I'm going to go with Emmy. I think he's PLAL. That's a lot. That's a lot of letters to say at once. So I'm going to have to find a shortened way of saying that. But he's our previous champion from last season. I think he's got the ability to do it. I would question whether he could go all the way, because I think some of his results were fortunate last season. However, I think he's definitely got a good degree of ultimate team and how to play. He's beaten a lot of the players that are actually here today.
Right.
Rocky had a very good game, so I expect it to be a close affair, but I think Emmy might just be able to edge it out. I don't think Rocky will have quite the way to deal with Emmy. I don't know how Dave feels about that one.
No, I think Rocky will win this one.
Yeah?
Yeah, he was really
Listen
solid.
to him, because I don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, I predicted August to win the last one, so.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, let's take a quick look at the bracket. We can see where we're at so far in Group C. So yeah, as we're saying, Emmy and Rocky are about to kick off, and the general opinion is that Rocky should sort of progress quite comfortably. Aggy still got it all to do in his lower bracket match, but we'll try and keep you posted of how that one goes throughout the course of it. So don't forget, we've got competitions happening. You can win a Lionel Messi signed shirt. Just go to gfinity.net/.
I thought we were giving him my pyjama top.
No, not anymore, because people were disgusted. So yeah, gfinity.net/competition. The Green Man Gaming giveaway goes on till tomorrow night at midnight. You can get a 25% discount off of FIFA 16 if you use the code that is there-ish. And we're going to get ready straight away for the game. I'm going to give it to Dave and Chris. They're going to talk you through the action. Gentlemen, over to you.
Thank you, Martin. So it is going to be Rocky and Emiboost, the rematch from last season. You say Rocky, I say Emmy. So this could be interesting.
I say your pointing game needs to step up.
My pointing? I am pointing at your crotch rather, not crotch rather than the actual label. I'll step that one up. So, what is it that we're going to see from these two? Obviously, they've probably got very contrasting play styles. How do you think the two are going to fare out? What were you going to expect to see from these two players?
Well, to be honest, even though Emmy's a champion, I can't really remember his play style because nothing really stands out from it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you got Rocky.
Just does a bit of everything.
Yeah, exactly. Rocky's very, very strong with the ball, and you'll see that here. I mean, he's already started here. Emmy hasn't touched the ball yet. He's going to get a chance, maybe.
Here comes Rocky. He finds someone in the middle. Sturridge maybe should have just hit that first time. And it's going to be brought back out as it is going to be the man known as Emiboost moving that one forward, as he does find Brahimi on the left wing. We're seeing a lot of Brahimi on their teams right now. We're seeing quite a few legends. I think in previous seasons we haven't seen too many legends brought out. We're seeing quite a consistent go at using them in teams, and it's nice to see.
Yeah, I think a lot of the French players actually use the same sort of players. Like there's such a tight community that they don't mind sharing those little things with each other. So yeah, I mean, so far we've seen, I think all the French players have pretty much used the same sort of players. I mean, we saw Brian put Ibrahimovic on at central attacking mid, then we saw Rocky do it in the last game. I'm not sure. I think Emmy did it in the last tournament as well. So
I think it's obviously a lot that you can adapt to, and there's only so many secrets that can be revealed. And maybe if if there was a cross-country kind of tactic sharing session, you might see a couple of the English guys use Ibrahimovic, or using certain players that some of the French guys tend to use. So
it depends on what style of play you have. I mean, most of the English players, they tend to all play the same sort of style. And the French players, again, the exact same. So I think it's just a nationality thing, to be honest.
Absolutely. Ronaldo through on ball. Oh, not the best of opportunities. And it is going to go wide. So Rocky having a good first few moments in this game, and it looks like your prediction at this rate could well be correct. Emiboost definitely needs to step up his defensive game a little bit. We know he can score some very good goals, scored a good couple of goals, scored a lot of goals actually last season, I believe, but also let in quite a few. Let's see if his defensive prowess has stepped up a little bit more in Season 4, the final season of the Play Like a Legends Championship. Obviously, if you want to get involved in some FIFA and you want to play the likes of some of these players, you can head over to our online platform, Gfinity.net, and get involved and play some Ultimate Team tournaments. Obviously, we'll be running them all the time. I believe we give £4,000 in prizes across the entire website for FIFA. But speaking of FIFA, here comes the goal. Rocky early on with Sturridge, takes it around the keeper. Well executed from him.
That was a lovely goal. It's a little bit like the one he scored against August, except for, you know, there was no sort of defensive mistakes in there or anything. That was just literally well worked.
So, Emiboost looking to get back on the attack one more time quickly. He is playing with a bit more of a Liga BBVA squad. Did have Benzema up front. Quite a few BBVA players in there as well. From what I
can see, he's pretty much got the... I'm pretty sure he's got the same team that he had in the last tournament where he won. And to be fair, you can understand why. Cause if you got a team that's good enough to win the whole thing, why would you change it?
So, here we go. Rocky pushing this ball forward. Bit more of a faster pace and tempo to this game right now. There's a lot more quicker passes going on. It's a little bit less possessive orientated. I think that's possibly because
that's nice.
That is good passing right now. It could be because a player like Rocky, who's used to play such a slow game, when he has given himself a cushion. Oh, and here we go, Ronaldo again. The passing from Rocky right now is so good. Like, he's making passes that you don't really expect him to make, and I think it's throwing Emi for a loop.
Yeah, I think he's just like, he's speeding his play up. I think playing August in that first game has benefited him by, like, benefited him so much purely because he had to really take his time against August. He had to make these quick passes. He didn't really have time on the ball, whereas now he's playing Emi. He is having that time on the ball, and his decision-making is a lot sharper.
He is having a lot more time on the ball, so he's stepped up the tempo a little bit more. He's actually got so much free reign of the pitch. He's decided to play a little bit more aggressive, and it's working out for him. He's finding passes are not being capitalised on as much as Aggy was making. He was defending them very well, and some of the passes Rocky's done in this game have worked very, very well and consistently for him, and he's making Emiboost pay right now as he's looking to add a third very quickly in this game. A little bit more goal-orientated this matchup. See what Rocky can do. Emi's just struggling to get hold of the ball right now. He is chasing that ball, and he needs to slow himself down and get a grip on himself before things get out of hand.
What I've noticed about Rocky is he's so good in and around the box. When he gets there, he always seems to be one step ahead of the defenders. I mean, you can try and anticipate all you like, but he just plays it so fast, like a couple of one-touch passes and then a fake shot. Like, he's always, as I said, he's always one step ahead of you, and you just can't defend it.
Oh, unlucky from Emi, just not able to get that shot off, just being blocked at all opportunities. And as you said, both of these guys from France, they both played each other again. They know each other's play style, possibly have given each other some tips. It looks like Rocky's tips have not rubbed up on Emi, and Rocky is capitalising on this opportunity right now. And whereas we saw him coming up against Aggy in the previous game, someone from Denmark, maybe not so many secrets shared, and obviously he hasn't played a lot of FIFA 15 competitively, especially not an Ultimate Team, so it's a little bit different and maybe not too familiar. Chance. Lovely passing from Emi, and we've seen so many opportunities last season with Emi, who made some great passing sequences, and unfortunately that time, not able to put the ball in the back of the net.
I mean, all he had to do then was just take a touch. He had all the time in the world with Bailey. He would have been able to finesse it round. He could have had a little dance and then scored if he wanted to. I'm not really sure why he's hit it first time.
So here we go again. Emi clearly bothered about what has happened so far. 2-0 down to Rocky in this winners game of the group stage. Obviously, the winner of this will advance first seed in the Group C. The loser will be going down to the losers match in the game, and will get another chance at securing a pass into the knockout stage, and will obviously get themselves a lower seed and play a champion from one of the other groups, and that group will be Group D, which has also got Dignitas, Ty Walton, Graham FPS, Dr. Ahano, and FCO K Vega in that group. So both of these guys will be wanting to secure themselves a first place seed. Ibrahimovic is going to be coming on, as well as Yaya Toure for Rocky, as the substitutions were made at halftime. He's also going to face up against Laudrup from Mr. Emiboost. Iron Robin also coming on, so a lot more of attacking threat. Just going to opt to do the 2 substitutions, Emi, at the moment. He's going to save one for a little bit later on in case the game does change out. Maybe he needs to go a bit more attacking, maybe a bit more defensive. He doesn't want to get too overzealous in this first leg, because obviously we've got an entire second game to play. So doesn't want to make a huge mistake and have himself be punished for it. Now, it is Emiboost with some quick passing. It does find its way to Ronaldo, but not the best of touches and not the best of passes. Falls to the hands of Neuer.
I kind of feel a little bit frustrated for Emi, because when you play someone who's such a who's so heavily reliant on possession like Rocky is, you're not going to get many chances. So when you do get a chance, you need to take them, and him missing that Bale chance is going to really cost him.
So let's see what happens here. In the other game, it is currently 1-0 to, I'm not entirely sure who.
It's August.
Is it August?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, in fact it is August. He's actually on the attack right now, and he has made it 2-0 in that game. So August might get a bite at the cherry one more time as we look to separate Emiboost and Rocky, the 2 victors of their first games of Group C. A lovely stop and turn. Fires in the cross. It is dealt with. Emiboost picks it up, and he's going to start to move that one out. Robin pushing forward right now, down that left-hand wing. Let's see how this works out. Yaya Toure on possession of the ball. Remy passes to Robin. Robin is to Yaya Toure, and Toure plays it to Ronaldo. A quick pass to Effenberg. Effenberg looking for the chip through to Ronaldo. It is blocked out expertly by Rocky. Effenberg once again on the ball, finds Laudrup. Laudrup plays it to Bale. Bale with the through ball to Ronaldo. First time shot, Neuer saves that one. Simple save for him, but unfortunately for Emiboost, it's not going to go in, and it looks like Rocky's going to counter-attack. Yeah,
as I said, he's not going to get many chances at all in a game like this. So he should be 2-2 now, but he's just not taking them, and he's not going to get too many more chances, especially with Rocky creating a few of his own at the same time. You got to feel a little bit sorry for Emi. I mean, I said at the beginning of the tournament I thought he was going to struggle a little bit, and you know, it's his time to kind of prove a few people wrong, and he finds himself 2-0 down. But
do you think he could take Aggy Rosemeyer in its current affair? He's 2-0, so he's more likely to go through.
The way that they're playing now, like, it kind of reminds me of a huge gorilla in the sense that I've said this so many times now that if you let your opponent play at their own pace, you know, they're going to have a massive advantage. And the way that Emi plays, he's not a possession player, which means, you know, August, he's going to be allowed to play at his own pace.
Yeah.
And if they do that, then I think August will slightly edge it.
Emiboost in control massively in this second half right now, but hasn't converted anything from it. Just struggling to get behind this wall of Rocky. And Rocky, in all honesty, has read him like a book. I mean, Emi hasn't really had much of an answer to what Rocky has to bring to the table, and Emi is just struggling to shake off this monkey on his back that's saying that I know exactly what you're going to do, and it's not going too well for him. Every opportunity he tries to create, which looks so good, it's just thwarted by Rocky right now, and he tries to go for a quick opportunity. It is going to go out, however, for a goal kick.
The thing is, it's always difficult for the player who loses in the winners bracket final, because they are then playing someone who's just coming off the back of a victory in the lower bracket round 1. So yeah, there's always
so much pressure on you.
Yeah.
You've had your chance to get through, and you've thrown it away. And your next opportunity, you're now going up against. If it's a rematch, it's worse because they know how you're going to play, and they know where mistakes can be rectified. And it's also a case of if you're coming up against someone new, you haven't played them before, so you're not too sure what's going on. So it looks like you're more in a losing situation than you are a winning situation.
Yeah, I mean, if you lose that winners bracket final and you end up playing the guy who you beat, that, in my eyes, that's a massive disadvantage. I mean, I suppose you could take this slight mental advantage at, yeah, I've beat this guy, but you learn a lot more from a loss than what you do from a win. So that player who you're going to beat, they're going to be able to take notes on you. Right, I did this wrong, now I can do it right, and just little things like that.
Honestly, couldn't have put it better myself. You learn so much more from a loss than a win. As we see Emiboost moving forward, let's see what he's learned over this past leg. He's doing a much better job in this second half of holding onto the ball and making creations, as he is, unfortunately passes that one out, but he hasn't quite been able to get the ball in the back of the net, which is what counts at the end of the day. It doesn't matter how attractive your football is, it's not going to win your games. It's about getting the ball in the back of the net and getting those goals for your team. So Rocky's just looks like he's going to see this one out, just holding on to the ball, doesn't really want to give it away. Really does not want to concede going into this next one. He is going to be away from home in the next leg. As Rocky is just holding on to this ball right now, playing some quick passes, just keeping possession. Coming into the closing stages of this first half. Obviously, there's going to be 2 legs in this one, 2 legs in every game. As a Ronaldo header is easily caught by Neuer, and it's moving forward. You see the concentration on Rocky right now is actually extremely fierce as he breathes a sigh of relief going into that one. Just thinking about what happened in that one. Emiboost actually looks quite calm right now. Probably a little bit annoyed with how that went down. Possibly doesn't think he should be 2-0 down overall, but...
Yeah, I think Rocky on the balance of play deserves a victory, but by 1 goal, absolute maximum. I mean, the 2 chances that
but they were so well executed by Rocky.
Oh, yeah. Like, make no mistake about it, he he created those chances so well, and he was really composed when he took them, but Emi, on the other hand, wasn't.
So as Emi going into this one, what are your thoughts? How are you going to change your game? Because to me, it looked like he needs to slow his gameplay down a little bit.
It's hard to say because I don't.
Well, actually, having said that, the second half, the tempo was the same. He just had better possession of the ball. He made better opportunities and better passes.
We've only really seen one type of game style from Emi, so I'm not sure how much he's going to be able to change it. He's never really been in that many losing situations. Yeah. But in the past tournament, he wasn't. In the tournament before that, I'm not sure what round he got to. But yeah, I'm not sure how much he can change his style, and especially down to how much he can change it, which is actually going to make a big effect on the game. Rocky's style of play, I mean, having possession, a lot of people want to do it because it's just hard to counter. It's pretty much impossible. The only thing that you can do against a possession player is play possession yourself, and usually if that's not what you play, then they're just going to do it better than you because they're used to doing it.
So in the last game against Aggy, who by the way is just won that first leg 3-0, so he's going to have a comfortable lead going into the second one. He played quite a passive game in the first leg, and the second leg he played a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more attacking orientated. What are you expecting from Rocky coming into this one?
The thing is with Rocky, as I said, I keep mentioning it, he keeps a lot of the ball, which means he's in absolute control. He doesn't have to do a thing. Against August, he played it perfectly. When he went 1-0 up in the second game, he just kept the ball from me, tried to frustrate August, and he did it perfectly well. I think he went 2-0 up, didn't he? And then August got one back, and then And I can see him doing the same in this. He's going to start the game very slowly, just try and frustrate Emi a little bit. And then when he sees he's getting to him, if he starts dragging players out of position, leaving gaps, I think that's when Rocky's going to really go for it and try and get another one.
I think he was a little bit uncomfortable with how that game started in the last game. He looked a bit like he had easily got sucked in from the start. I don't think he was expecting that. I think he was a little bit more confident going into it than he was previously. And afterwards, he realised he was 2-0 down. He needed to stop what he was doing and think a bit more about his play. And his attacking play definitely improved, and his defensive play had mild improvements overall. Are you expecting him to have the same kind of style going into this one?
Rocky? Emi. Oh, Emi, yeah. Yeah, as I said, I've not seen Emi change his style too much in the past. So I'm not sure how much he can change it. But if he's going to If he wants to change it, the thing he needs to do is just keep the ball a little bit from Rocky. But you know, the clock is going to be ticking against him constantly. So
absolutely.
Yeah, he's got to be careful. He can't like hold it too much.
Yeah, 2 goals, not exactly the hugest of score lines, but it is very helpful as Sturridge somehow finds the ball, and Emiboost once again has fallen asleep. The amount of times we see such an early goal in these games, and whereas in previous seasons they haven't made a huge amount of difference to the grand scheme of things, but in a game, in these games this season so far, they've made an incredible difference.
It's kind of uncharacteristic by Rocky, actually. He's not.
Oh, no!
God.
What is going on? He has literally lost the plot right now.
Yeah,
it is a replay of the last game.
It's the worst thing that could have happened. I didn't expect Rocky to like come out all guns blazing like he has. I was expecting him just to hold the ball in midfield as much as he can. Just as I said, try and frustrate Emmy, but you know he's done the complete opposite. He's just gone up the other end, scored 2 within 7 minutes, and that's pretty much game over.
We'll have to see how Emmy reacts to this. Obviously, there's no opportunity now. You are 4-0 down. There's about 10 minutes gone in this first half. There's still a lot of time left, admittedly, in FIFA time. But you are against it. Against a pro player like Rocky, who is in incredible form right now, you've got to come out with something a bit different. You need to go really attacking. Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the thing is, like, the level that these two play at is going to get third now. The level that these two play at, in fact, the level of this tournament overall, it's so high that if someone does take a 4-0 lead, like, the odds on, you know, a comeback from that is just, it's near impossible.
Let's see if Emmy does have what it takes. It's going to take a lot of courage to come back from what he's put himself into right now. Rocky's loving life right now, although he doesn't look like it in the booth. When you look at him on the inside, I'm sure he's extremely happy with himself. He's probably not going to be fully happy until he actually gets some sort of podium placement in one of these tournaments. As obviously there's a lot of money to be given out over this weekend for your prizes. Every player also getting a copy of FIFA 16 just for being here, just to give them praise for their abilities at FIFA, and hopefully we'll see them back next year. Right now it is 4-0 in aggregate to Epsilon Rocky. He'll be booking his way into a first seed position going into the knockout stages. Obviously in the other game we've also got the losers game between our man Paul and
Pablo Watchi
and Aggy Rosemeyer. That's currently sitting at 3-0 in aggregate, so Aggy Rosemeyer will get a chance to face off against Emmy in the winners game, if that makes sense, to determine the second seed placement.
I mean, August has just scored another goal in that.
Has he? 4-0 then?
Yeah, it's 4-0 overall in that. Well, 4-0 in both games now. They're pretty much sealed. It's just a matter of pride now for Pablo Watchi, a.k.a. Paul.
Emmy beat Paul 3-1 in the end, I think.
Yeah.
So that's very good for Aggy looking forward. Like, he's probably thinking that he's definitely hot favourite going up against Emmy, but obviously Emmy being a champion of the Play Like a Legend Season 3,
yeah, well,
he's got a lot to work with too.
Like, one of them's going, well, if it stays like this, one of them's going to be...
Oh, that's lovely play. Oh, just the finishing is just woeful right now.
One of them's going to be going into the game on the back of a 4-0 victory, and the other's going to be going on into the game on the back of a 4-0 loss.
It's not good. It's a really demoralising thing to go into. So let's see how Emmy... Yeah, as he said, Emmy 4-0 down right now. Aggy about to win 4-0 plus. That's got to really weigh on his mind. You know how unlucky Aggy was in that game. It only took something special from Rocky to actually seal the deal in that game. He really struggled to get a proper grasp on the game. He had numerous opportunities go against him that hit the post and the bar. And here he goes, just saved by Neuer in that occasion. It's going to be a corner in the favour of Rocky as he swings this one in. Neuer going to come and collect it, and he does so. 30 minutes gone in this second half.
See, this is why I think a lot of people were a bit sceptical about Emmy. He's just, although he was he's a champion, he wasn't really convincing in any of those games.
I think maybe the planets aligned. Everyone's got one of... It's the magic of the tournament, basically. You see it all the time, is that anyone can come in on their day and have an outstanding performance. It's just a case of whether you can put that up, and I think maybe the magic of the tournament was quite evident for Emi. But having said that, he has still got an opportunity going into the next game against what is most likely going to be Aggy, as he actually somehow smashes that past the keeper to make it 5-0. And I think that's just going a bit, just the momentum of the game going a bit against our man Paul, as it was Diego Costa that got the goal. So finally, Costa's actually going to get a bit of action for him. Back to this game in front of us, however, Rocky still 4-0 up. Fastly approaching half-time. Now he's just killing the game off right now. He's just holding possession of the game. Really not in any position that he needs to push forward and make more goals. 4-0 is a comfortable lead going into a second half. Emi's got to pull out an absolute performance going into it. I mean, you must have been in a situation like this in a tournament before, and I imagine knowing your abilities, you've done it before and come back and managed to pull out the victory. Well, I hope you have done it. If not, then I'm bigging you up for nothing. But how do you actually possibly come back from this? Because even online, in the comfort of my own home against someone who I know is not very good, I can struggle to come back from a 4-0 victory. So how do you possibly mount that comeback? What do you do mentally? What do you do in the game as well?
It's like, if you're 4-0 down in the game against someone of this caliber like Rocky, it's near impossible. Like, all you can hope for
unless
really...
you're Dave Byford.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, and he's... Well, let's change it. 5-0 now.
Yeah, okay. So 5-0.
Is this even a bit out of your depth as well?
No, nothing's quite out of my depth. Like, I like to think I'd get 3 within about 30 seconds. And that's a FIFA time as well. So, it is difficult no matter who you're playing, but when you're playing someone like Rocky, it is near impossible. All you can think in your mind is, I'll win the second half. I mean, that's all you can really take away from it, because there's no coming back from that.
Do you just go full out tilt on the organisation of the team? Just full out ultra attacking as many forwards as you can. Well, hope you somehow put in a great performance on the defence.
You got to be careful though, because if you go 4-2-4 ultra attacking, it could get embarrassing for you. I mean, he's already 5-0 down on aggregate. If he does that, I can see it finishing like 7 or 8.
At this point, is there much difference between 5-0 and 10-0?
I suppose if you're going to lose, you might as well lose 10-0 as to 1-0. It doesn't really make much of a difference. It's still
at least you get
the same outcome. Yeah.
There's no point reserving yourself just for the sake of damage limitation. Yeah. You might as well go all out and say, well, at least I took the risk, and although it didn't pay off, I will have no regrets about it.
There's another goal in the other game by August now. No, it's 6-0 overall in that game. It's 3-0.
Oh yeah, sorry, 6-0. Not bad, I can't count. That's why I cast FIFA and not count things at banks and stuff. I don't know. A job that would... Martin, what's a job that would involve counting? Accountancy, there you go. Thank you, Martin.
That was a pretty obvious one, wasn't it?
You're more than just a pretty face. He enjoyed that one. Back to this game. 5-0 on aggregate to Rocky. 50 minutes gone. Emi really having 0 opportunities in the second leg. I don't know where that momentum went. It looked like he had some real gas in the tank in that first leg, and this second leg he's had nothing. It is literally just like it's all been expelled in the first leg and it's all gone. And the way that the game started in this second leg, it's fair to say that was possibly the way it actually worked.
Yeah, I mean, as Rocky's really played this game, not how I thought he was going to. Maybe that's just like a little addition Rocky's added to his game style. He's been here 3 times now and he's not quite, performed as well as he'd like to. So he's possibly gone home, looked at where he's going wrong, added this to his style, and if he has, and he can keep it up consistently in the next few games, he could be a real underdog.
He's looking to get more goals. He really loves an opportunity to score. Maybe he's going to try out some new things. I mean, in a situation like this, you definitely want to try new things and try stuff out. You're in a comfortable 5-0 situation. You might as well give it a go.
Yeah, try and score a 40-yard volley or something. Yeah.
Well, there's an extra £500 for you if you manage to score goal of the tournament. So it's definitely something that should be playing on his mind right now. And to be fair, some of the goals he scored have been spectacular. So they're definitely within a shout right now. I mean, I can't say there have been too many amazing goals so far in the tournament. So I think Rocky's definitely up there with one of the best ones, especially that goal against Aggy. I think considering the way how close the game was and what that goal meant, and the execution of the passing probably means that it was so much better, and Rocky's just rubbing salt in the wounds right now.
I think Emi's kind of given up there. doesn't really care. He knows he's lost. He just needs to.
Well, now it's his opportunity to try and get £500.
Yeah, well, he just needs to, not get down mentally because he's still got another game. He's not out yet, and it's going to be tough for him because August he's winning 6-0. That's going to do wonders for his confidence. Whereas this is just going to absolutely destroy Emmy's. Like Emmy, he's to play like a Legends champion, so he's obviously got the quality. It's just whether he can show it and prove me and you wrong because we've just been slating him pretty much.
Well,
yeah.
Well, it's difficult to really. It's like, I don't want to be rude, but you can polish a turd, but it's still a turd. Without being too harsh, but that's the best analogy I could think of on the spot.
That's pretty cruel.
Well, he is 6-0 down, to be fair.
Yeah, but I feel like he deserves an apology after that one.
Sorry, Emmy.
Not accepted. I heard him say it. I saw him shake his head.
I don't like that Trout guy. I don't like that Trout guy. He's solid. I did say he had a good second half in the first leg, but it's been all over since the first moments of this game.
Yeah, he needed to get the first goal in this game, and Rocky got 2 within like the first 7 minutes of gameplay. And yeah, as you said, pretty much since then it was game over.
So, closing in on the final moments of this game right now. Emmy, you can tell that the strategy's got out the window for him. He's just kind of running around the pitch, hoping for the best. And right now, it's a bit amateur hour for the way the thing's going. So, Rocky just having a laugh right now. Probably could afford to do something a little bit audacious. He's trying a couple more skills than he was previously. He's in a comfortable position. I don't think there's any way he could possibly lose this. As the ball finds its way to Ibra. Ibra with a snapshot, doesn't work out. Emmy just going to play that one out safe. Just another update. It's still 6-0 to Aggy, so it looks like we're going to see an Aggy versus Emmy matchup coming into the next game. So obviously, Rocky will be advancing as first seed in this group, which means that Emmy and Aggy will be fighting it out for that second seed to advance to the knockout stages. And obviously, Rocky will be playing the winner. Rocky will be playing second place in Group D, and the winner between Aggy and Emmy will be playing the first place player of Group D. And obviously, we've got Dig, Ty Walton, got Graham FPS, Dr. Arahano, and K Vega in that Group D. Now, have you got any favourites for Group D?
Just before that, just an hour, we've just seen an absolute screamer in that other game.
Was it a screamer? Oh,
yeah, by Paul Pablowachi. He has got
At
one
least
back.
He's going to get £500.
If he wins, but yeah, he scored an absolute screamer with Luis Suarez, I just saw. But yeah, as for Group D, it's a really hard one to call. I mean,
I've got to go with Ty for me. He's my dark horse. I think he's one of those players that he might not be playing amazing FIFA. He's not playing unstoppable FIFA. A bit of an Emmy situation. He might not be having the most convincing victories, but he's been there, he's done that, and he's playing well enough that he could go and nick the victories, especially if the matchups favour him and his play style. So I wouldn't be surprised if he does come out on top of that. He's an experienced. He is an experienced FIFA player. He's very good. He knows what to do. He knows how to win games. He knows how to win championships. Graham as well is another player that I've always said is one of the better players going into this, and probably one of my favourites. He's probably around the top 5 area in this entire tournament when it comes to the 16 players as a whole. So I would expect those two to be in the top 2. I don't know what you think about that.
Well, I know Ty, he's here just to make up the numbers. He's just happy to be here.
Yeah.
No. I'm only joking. No. Ty's obviously going to fancy himself to go through. And just before I carry on with that, Rocky's won that one. He just seemed to go on forever that game. He's kind of decided from the early moments of that second game. And he's got through early. We don't know who he's going to be playing yet in the quarterfinals, as he will be playing the runner-up in Group D, which we're going to see as soon as this group is concluded. But we've still yet to see the second seed in this group go through, which we're about to see after this game. It's going to be August against Emmy.
Yeah, so with that game, I mean, I don't know what your thoughts are, but where did it go wrong for Emmy? Where did it go wrong, and how was Rocky able to absolutely dominate that performance?
I mean, it's hard to say where it went wrong for Emmy, because to be honest, it's hard to tell where it went wrong for Emmy, to be honest, because he was just dominated all over the pitch. Rocky just played his game, and it's about time it worked for him, because Rocky's always threatened to be one of those players who could annihilate someone, you know, but hasn't done yet. And fair play to him, he absolutely deserved it. And I think Emmy just had one of those games where...
Is that a bit of a stake in the ground from Rocky then? Like Rocky saying, right, well,
he's here to play.
Yeah, I'm here to play. This is you know, I can be a dominant force. I can take control of games, and to treat a former champion the way he did, that's one way, I suppose, to set your stall out. I
mean, in the previous seasons, for me, he's looked a bit rough around the edges. I think he's had a couple of sloppy games and some sloppy moments. And then these 2 games we've seen from him, he looks so controlled and calm. I mean, admittedly, against Aggy, he had some skeptical moments where it was literally on the line of whether it was going to go in or not. And maybe that fortune might play out for him throughout the entire tournament. And we talk about the magic of the cup. Maybe the magic is with Rocky this weekend. But he looked very in control. Looked like his possession game was a lot better. His defensive stances were better. He was scoring good goals, and overall just looked very worthy of finishing first in his group. But now we're coming to Aggy and Emmy in a matchup to determine who will be advancing to the knockout stage.
Well, I'm going to be interested to see how Rocky responds if he's to go 1-0 down, because the way that he plays, he doesn't really he doesn't suit going 1-0 down. I mean, no one ever wants to start losing a game, but the way he plays is really patient, and he kind of makes your opponents like press him, and like he'll wait for you to make a mistake, and then he'll punish you for it. But if he goes 1-0 down, you don't have to press him. You can just wait for him. He can keep the ball as long as he wants. He's not going to score. So
you think he might get a bit complacent?
Well, I just think in the past that's where he's been, his problem has been. He's gone 1-0 down, and he's struggled to bring it back because opponents can't just sit there and just try and break down the wall, and it just doesn't happen. But the way he's played, he hasn't really looked like going behind once. He's just so strong. He's been solid absolutely everywhere on the pitch. So yeah, he's a real underdog for the rest of this tournament for me.
Well, we'll have to see how he gets on.
Absolutely. I suppose Aggy will probably be finding out about the result now between Rocky and Emmy, and then probably just actually thinking, do you know what? I'm feeling confident. There's no way I shouldn't actually get a chance to progress.
It's difficult to come back from a 6-0 drumming like that. And when you've won 6-1, I believe it was, you've got to be flying high.
Yeah, definitely, especially when you're playing someone who's just lost. Was it 6-0 or was it 7 in the end? But yeah, I mean, every single one of these players will be going into every game confident. Even Emmy will be going into this second game confident. You just need a strong mentality on FIFA. You can't ever go into a game thinking, you feel it. If you feel slightly down, it's going to affect your gameplay so much.
So, Dave, what you're saying is you effectively, even after you get a bit of a pace in, you just press the reset button and go again. Even though, like, Aggy won 7-1 in the last game. Yeah. He'll know that, but still go in there thinking, do you know what, clean slate, away we go, start again, start fresh.
Well, no, I think August will go in like slightly more confident because he's just hammered someone, whereas Emmy, it's important that if you lose, you can't go into a game letting it like affect your mentality. Right. If you do, that's it. But if you go in after a victory, you can take confidence in it, but you just can't get like complacent. And I don't think August will do that. I mean, August lost to Rocky in a way which he's not going to be too happy about, but then he's just went and hammered someone. So it just goes to show that these players, they're at that level now where mentality kind of means just as much as ability. Yeah. And I think that's what separates the very top players from the people just a level below.
Well, that last segment of seeing goal after goal after goal after goal, you couldn't literally take your eyes off it for a second, otherwise you would have missed something. So now it's time for a well-earned break. We'll be back in a few minutes. Don't go away.